Hey guys, Dismal Hero here. Please excuse my voice, but I'm feeling a little bit sick. Anyways, I'm here today to do something a little bit different than the regular narration. I stumbled across an article today on a cryptid creature. If you're not aware of what a cryptid is, it's, Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster, Chupacabra. Any of those would be considered a cryptid. I found an article that I want to read, entitled, "Man Encounters Werewolf in Woods of Wisconsin." Now, I find the idea of a werewolf a bit far-fetched, but what this man submitted kinda makes me want to discuss it a bit. It starts, "Hi Michael, my name is Richard L., and I live in a little town by the name of Allman, located in Wisconsin. I don't have any degrees or PhD. I'm just a retired simple man that likes going out in the woods and do some plant studies on my own. I know a little about botany, and I enjoy its study, that's all. I like to consider myself a man of science though, and I tend to look for explanations for every little thing. But what happened to me a few days ago on one of my short trips is that I can't explain. I wonder if you could shed some light to this subject. My family doesn't believe me. Please excuse my writing and grammar, as I am not the best at it. That day, I went out earlier than usual in the morning. It was 5 a.m. when I grabbed my backpack, consisting of one sandwich, botanical books, a notebook, and a pencil. I like carrying my shotgun as well, even though it gets pretty uncomfortable after a while, but I do bring it with me every time I go out to the woods. My day was pretty productive, and I drew a few plants on my notebook, but it was after 8 a.m. that I realized I forgot to bring water with me. That was a huge mistake. I know of a little source of water, a spring nearby that carries clean, drinkable water. I decided to go there. Once I reached the spring, I was relieved to see the clean water flowing through it. I left my backpack on the ground and bent over to drink some of it off my hands. I was very thirsty and drank as much as I could. As I stepped back from the water and reached for my backpack, I heard a strange sound that reminded me of a howl. Only it sounded like a creature in pain, and not like a wolf trying to communicate. I didn't pay much attention to it, since you can hear about anything here in the woods if you concentrate hard enough, so I decided to head back home. On my way back, I began to think, what if that howl was actually a person asking for help? What if I ignored the cries of a human being crying to be heard? That's what made me go back to the spring. I started blaming myself for not having thought about this earlier, and thinking about how that person could be dead by now. It could be a hunter or an old person. When I got to the spring, I stayed still nearby, trying to hear the sound again. I screamed out, asking to see if anybody was there. I went around the spring, in circles, looking for this person, hoping to find someone laying on the floor. I was kind of relieved, maybe. After all, it was just an animal howling or some tree branch making a funny crackling noise. I called again, just in case. Nothing, not a sound, only the water flowing down the rocks. I became hungry, so I sat down next to the water to eat the sandwich. Again, kind of relieved that it all had been a false alarm. But it hadn't been a false alarm. I dropped half my sandwich on the water. The howl happened again. Only this time, it was more of a human cry. No doubt it was a male human crying out loud, an adult, a very loud cry. It made the hairs on the back of my neck stand on end. I started running towards the sound. "Hold on, I'm coming, are you okay?" All I could see was the branches of bushes and trees hitting me on the sides of the face and scratching my arms. Then I saw it. It was there, sitting down in the middle of an opening. a human figure. He then started moving fast, movement that I have never seen in a human. Almost like spasms, only faster, shakier. I realized it wasn't a he, but an it. It stood on its hind legs, and I could see the outline of the body was hairless, like a human, whereas the inside was hairy, like an animal. It had silver hair, white, its chest full of it, no sexual organs anywhere. The head started to take shape. It had two distinctive wolf-like ears and a long snout. Long canines showing on the sides up and down like a hog. The eyes were brown or black, very dark. It then growled, and I have to admit I was freaked out by then. I reached for my shotgun, not to shoot it, but to scare it away with a shot in the air, when I had realized I had left it back at the water spring. I was defenseless, and standing next to a creature I had never seen before. I thought if I started running it would chase me down, so I stood still, quiet, trying not to stare into its eyes so it wouldn't find me challenging as dogs often do. That's when it approached me, close enough to smell it. It put its snout up on my head and sniffed my eyes and nose. Its eyes connected with mine, and I wasn't able to gaze away this time. I could feel its pain. That creature was in pain, but you could also feel its anger. I couldn't stand it anymore, and I started screaming. It then left running on all four legs. I urinated my pants. Literally. I did. I was surprised it had no tail, and the rear end looked like a human butt, to be honest. I stood there for a few minutes, making sure it had left for good. Then I went back to my backpack and shotgun and headed home. It was the weirdest day of my life. Do you have any idea as to what this creature was? Thank you so much for your time. Yours sincerely, Richard L. So that was the man's statement. The man Richard sent in to the site, and the website responds. Dear Richard, thank you for sharing your story with us. That's one of the most interesting accounts we have received about similar animals so far. We had received reports in the past, and after investigations in the field, we came to the conclusion that most of these are sick animals with some type of skin disease. However, your story is much different from the others. If what you were saying is true, it looks like you were witnessing a werewolf transformation. Folklore in many cultures tells about a creature that's normally a human and becomes a wolf during a full moon. The interesting part is that you are talking about daylight here. There is not even one report in history that I know of that happened during daytime. I just wish you had taken a picture or video of the animal. Perhaps you would like to send us your clothes so we can try and find some DNA on it to analyze it. Good luck with your family. Please explain to them that strange things do happen, and that not everything in the world can be easily explained, not even men of science. So after reading this, I just kind of wanted to narrate it and comment on it because those cryptozoological things fascinate me. I think werewolves are a bit far-fetched, but the man seemed pretty sincere if he was telling the truth. I'll link the site that I found this on below. Let me know if you guys like narrations like this or just commenting on different unexplained things that happen. And please, discuss in the comments whether you believe werewolves could be real or not. Hey everyone, Dismal Hero here. Thanks for checking out the video, and if you like what you saw, make sure to subscribe so you're always up to date with my new videos. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time.